You ready, Riley?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'd like to call the Washington Bruce Romeo Parks and Recreation and Star Transportation Commission meeting Thursday, August 21st, 2025 to order. Please join me in pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Phyllis?
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Dembski, he's going to be late, we have. Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Duda,
Here.
Ms. Gabbard,
Here.
Mr. Stevens.
Here. All right. Additions, deletions, anything from the agenda that anybody's got?
I have just one change.
Okay.
Under the adoption of the consent agenda, the minutes to the investment committee are just being received, not approved. They're approved by the committee, but they're received here,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
What she said. Anybody else? No? All in favor? I
Aye.
made a motion first, don't I? To make a motion
You
to
skipped a
approve.
couple things.
I know, to approve the adoption of the agenda as changed by Phyllis.
I'll second.
Oh, okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Cool. Okay. Consent agenda items, everybody look at the minutes, and we've been through the payroll stuff. Everybody okay with that?
Yes. There was only, on the investment, I know we're just receiving them, but I did notice there's just a grammatical error under 5A with the dollar amount for Star Transportation. It's just the commas,
Oh, okay.
but that was the only thing I
That can make a
noticed.
difference.
Yeah, well, the number's right, it's
Numbers.
just the commas.
Hold on, let me find it.
There's a period instead of a comma. And
I know they brought a copy, but. Oh, I see, I got it, okay. Number, no, 5A, that's all I need.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh,
So everybody's good with that?
yes.
We'll make a motion?
Yeah, are we just approving 5A, the
Yes.
minutes?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 17th, 2025 with the,
Approve them all together.
You want to group them up?
do them all
Because
together.
they are, I mean, they're the consent agenda.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
It's one item we're approving all together.
Okay.
all right, I did look at accounts payable and
Yeah.
the treasurer's report as well. I'm fine with everything there as long as everyone else is.
Yeah, I didn't see anything there either.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to adopt the adoption of the consent agenda with the minor grammatical change of 5A on the investment meeting minutes.
Support.
Roll call, please, Phyllis?
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Duda,
Yes.
Ms. Gabbard,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Legal counsel.
Thank you. I had an opportunity to go through Kim's comments with respect to the interlocal as well as Clara's. I didn't get any comments from anybody else, but I think a lot of the comments that Clara had mirror some of the points that Kim raised with respect to the composition of the commissioners. And there's also some, minor editing and language issues that I think should probably be brought to the attention of the respective township boards. A couple more substantive issues were a suggestion that maybe the term of officers be extended from 1 year to 2 years. I really think that's a pretty nominal, I mean, it's important for the officers, from the standpoint, particularly as it relates to the treasurer's responsibilities and roles, I don't think that's going to be viewed, I really don't know. It seems pretty minor, but that's something that will be communicated, and my suggestion is I'll put a letter together with some points. One of the other points that was raised was the responsibilities of the commissioners. There's a section of the interlocal that identifies the powers of the commission, and then there's a separate section that talks about the responsibilities of the commissioners. And one point, the language is, it talks about recommending the policies of the commission, and doesn't really talk about adopting. And so there's some suggestion that maybe that means that the policies have to go to both townships. I think that doesn't really make sense.
No.
And it's not consistent with the powers section. I think that's something that should be brought to the attention of the board for purposes of clarity. There was one other point that was raised that I thought, well, Clara, you had some points about the communication back to the respective township boards. Currently, it has a provision that it's supposed to occur quarterly. I'm not sure if it is or not, but you're suggesting, one of your changes proposed was to not do that.
Or not have specific months.
Yeah.
Like even if it's quarterly,
Right.
that it's
Oh,
not.
I thought it was struck out. So you're still okay doing it quarterly?
Oh, yes.
I think that you
I
might get some
think that's
pushback.
overkill. I'm sorry. I think it's overkill.
I do too.
I think they think it's overkill too.
Yeah, the new
But,
commission,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Let me just make sure I heard, you think it's overkill to have to report?
Quarterly, yeah.
Okay, well, then that's something that I can raise. I could see them pushing back on that. They may want to have a good pulse on what's happening. It could be done through communications.
Yeah, they could always come to the meeting.
But
Or
the flip
even
side,
paper.
Kim brought, what is occurring in the respective townships being brought to the commission. And I don't know if that needs to be embodied in the interlocal. That seems like it could be incorporated into, particularly if you're still going, Claire, you bringing that type of update with respect to what's occurring at the township level back to the commission, probably could achieve that goal that I think you raised and flagged. So those are some of the items I saw. My intent is to have a letter that I will provide to Clara to circulate for everybody before. I had said I was going to do it for this meeting, but I didn't get to it, and for your next meeting.
The only other probably biggest point is the dissolution statement. I did supply one that a different Parks and Recreation Department had, and it mentioned the
You
MDNR.
supplied it to me?
Yeah, well, it
It
was,
just says need to get exact wording from MDNR.
it was an extra page, but not on the first time I sent it. It would have been,
I see, I printed, it says need to get exact wording for MDNR. If you have something,
I do have, I thought I included it in, when I sent it, but it was specific wording that I believe the MDNR worked with this township. So it would probably be something that we need to do. Plus, we're in communication with them. So my thought process was to show them this paragraph that, sorry if I didn't include it, but that I found.
Well, that would have to be part of our interlocal.
That would, yeah.
why,
Well, they won't give us grants unless we have this dissolution
Yeah.
agreement in our interlocal.
oh, there's some special MDNR language they'd like to see?
They would like
Yes,
it
yeah,
more.
It's not currently, yeah.
It's
why
the
don't you give me-
dissolution, there is a section in our interlocal right now, but
No, I
it
see.
wasn't worded exactly
they
how
like
they wanted it.
The way the DNR wanted it. Okay, yeah, if you can give me that language,
Yeah.
I'll review that. There were some other minor edits, adding Star Transportation in various spots throughout the agreement. That's really Scrivener type of issues, which I'm sure they are not going to have a problem with. No, nothing else to report.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Public comments? Okay,
Wait, I have something else.
all right.
Let me start. My name is Tom Matthews. I'm a resident in Washington Township now 22 years. And I'm on a representative of the Older Adults Advisory Committee of Macomb County. And I'm also was appointed to the Board of Directors of Ageways Nonprofit Senior Service. So in the last 2 years, I've gained a lot of knowledge about these organizations and how they work on behalf of our older citizens. Now, the point I'd like to make is, how do you, I believe you do surveys to get citizen input, right? For your master plan, I think, yeah, 8 or 9. What do you do beyond that? Because it's obvious that this room isn't full of citizens for one reason or another. But coming from an engineering environment, I am a fact gatherer. I like facts, I like numbers, because they tell a story and they justify actions at all levels. So the important level is, what do the citizens think? Are they satisfied? Are they getting their money's worth? Are they programs that are in place? I don't know these answers. I'm just throwing them out, see? And how do you get the word out to the citizens other than a survey? Now, I'm led to believe that this meeting is being videotaped for later. Okay, so the citizens can...
It's live, actually.
It's live, okay, so, all right. But beyond that, is there anything that we do to, because, you know, people, we're all a little bit, for one reason or another, hesitant to do things, whether it's our daily time or we're not so much interested until something happens, that kind of thing. I'm just asking how you feel about
I mean,
that.
I can tell you what I do.
Yeah,
I know Clara listens to all of the people that work for her that are dealing with the people that come in and utilize our facilities
Yes.
and programs. Whenever there's a program that I can attend, I go out and circulate amongst the people and talk to them, just to find out. Now, that's a good way of touching base with people that are already knowledgeable about something that Parks and Rec or Star Transportation is doing, reaching the ones that we haven't reached or that don't know. That's been a perplexing issue,
Yeah, okay.
you know, for everyone. But I can only speak for myself. The rest of you guys,
All right.
if you want.
I could add just a little
Sure.
bit. I mean, we do send out our brochure that
right, and I
has
have that, it's very good.
the variety. How do you have that already? It's not out. You got your ways.
What did I do? Oh, yeah.
Oh, our new fall brochure. It's not out, and just so the public knows that it will be coming out shortly. We'll be sending the digital, and then registration starts on September 8th. But we do provide the information within that, and we have been adding some additional things to you, honestly. We are trying to reach some of the people that we aren't. Some people see our brochure and probably have no interest whatsoever, no time, or whatever it might be. But other people, that's one way of reaching people who are homebound or maybe don't know of the activities that we have. We are also, we have suggestion boxes, which I just wrote down that I need to add that little clip in our brochure so that people know. And then after programs. But yeah, a lot of face-to-face talk. If someone's upset about something, they normally call a little more than they call when they really like something.
Sure.
But, and then we try to handle it.
Okay, let me tell you what I did for the OAAC. I went and I wrote a PSA, a public service announcement, and I worked with our wonderful Program Director Matthew December. We are very fortunate in this community. We're one of the few in Macomb County that actually have a cable channel. I think Mount Clemens, Sterling Heights, Shelby, and Washington, Bruce, and Romeo are the only four that I can recollect. So I wrote this, and I went last October the 4th, I think it was, and I stood before the podium, and there was the teleprompter, and delivered the message to the citizens to make them aware that our group existed. Because it's nice to film this and it's nice to be live, but if you have a specific message for only that purpose, I think it can be in your best interest. And at the very least, you can hear back from people if they say, well, that was nice, or I don't care, or whatever. But at least you've taken that step to communication is so important in our world. We can't overemphasize its value. So I think I've taken too much of my time, or your time. Thank you very much.
No problem, Tom.
Thank you.
All
We
right.
do, let me say, WBRW does also, any event that's happening through Parks and Rec, we take it and put it up on all the social media. So that's one way at least that we do. I don't know that we've done, they quote PSA, but, you know, every single time there's a big event coming or whatever, that runs on a constant thing, both on the station and on social media.
What social media site is it?
That's WBRW's own site.
Okay.
And I think he puts it up on one of the Washington Facebook pages.
Facebook.
Yeah, there's a couple of Washington Facebook pages, and it goes up on there too.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Claire, you're up.
So, the, Amanda Bowers has retired because she has, very busy. She's a single mom and is going all over the place. But she did love this commission and being a part of these departments. So, we have an empty seat. And today we have 4 applications that I think everybody has a copy of. And we do invite anybody that's here if they want to get up and just talk about themselves a little bit and why they would like to be on the commission. And then what happens is that this board, the Township board, is the one who would ratify any decision that's made at this board. So first I should say thank you. I'm assuming that, I don't know, that you're here. And if you're not, you are not. That's just for even applying, because this is very important. And, you know, sometimes this is not filled because things are going standard and good, and that's how I like to think about it. However, it would be nice, you know, for more input, and I completely trying to figure out ways to reach everybody, because computers and different things like that, a lot of people don't even have an email or what have you. So, you know, the print, the commission, is we are mailing home. So each home within Romeo, Washington, Bruce is receiving a brochure, so at least they get a paper copy to look at as well as anything digital. So, yeah, we're trying. I mean, if we do all the work to put all the programs together and have the senior centers or activity centers and the community center open, we want people to come. So that is definitely one of our goals. But with that being said, I believe if the two of you, if one of you at a time want to get up and just kind of tell the commission who you are, what you're...
Thank you. Honorable Chairman, Honorable Commissioners, and members, good evening. My name is Tom Matthews. As I stated, I'm a member of the Older Adults Advisory Committee of Macomb County. I'm also on the Board of Directors of Ageways Nonprofit Senior Service, both of which I was appointed by Commissioner Don Brown. Now, my reason for being here is a continuation of my motivation to serve my community, whether it's older citizens, toddlers, teenagers, middle-aged, we're all citizens. And when I can serve my fellow citizen and I come back to my home at night, it's a great feeling, okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have done the things that I was appointed to do by the Commission of Macomb County. So this is an extension of that service because I'm here to serve my community. Now, let me just give you a brief explanation of my background. I have an MBA from the University of Detroit. I was a technical manager with Michelin North America for almost 38 years. In the last 8 years of that time, I was an engineering representative between Michelin and Ford. And I was given responsibility for 2 vehicle platforms that are the most lucrative and visible on the planet, those being F-Series and Mustang. Believe me, they don't entrust that kind of responsibility to non-producers, okay? So I did that job successfully. Now, subsequent to that, I started thinking to myself, I'm not doing enough for people around me because my career took a lot of time, 10 and 11 hours a day and so forth. So I joined the Knights of Columbus in 15, pardon me. And I'm retired, of course. And that has led to a lot of additional service work beyond other things at the church. Now, this work that I've done at the county is a continuation of that mission, that focus, that goal. And that's why I'm here, to continue that goal and bring with me almost 79 years on this earth of experience, and which I hope to make a better community for our 3 communities here, better for our citizens. Now, I want to share something with you. It's very specific, but I think you'll find it interesting. Last year, I was in a restaurant in northern Washington, and I met an older lady, about my age. And she told me something that I was overwhelmed with. She said these words to me. I was almost in tears. She said to me, I have no one. To hear that in the wealthiest country on the planet is incomprehensible. So I was already started my work in the OAAC, and that very next month, I began research on the subject of social isolation. And I'll tell you what I found. It's not just in older folks. It extends to Gen Z and millennials. One of the reports I read said that the United States is becoming a nation of loners. And this thing here is not helping. Okay, and here's my quote. I'll leave you with this quote. Your Facebook friends are not the same as your face-to-face friends. And that concludes my remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is John Karras. I've lived in the community for about 39 years now. A couple of kids that went through Romeo schools, a couple of great grandkids that are in there currently. Have used a lot of the programs here. I spent 42 years with Chrysler Corporation in labor relations and HR management. Have negotiated tons of contracts and feel that I can hear both sides of an issue and make some good decisions. And I think the reason that I did this is I'm looking for a little more volunteerism for myself. I see people doing other things, and I thought this was a good opportunity for me to give back a little bit. And I think I have something to offer to this committee with my background and my interest in Parks and Rec and sports in general. So I would relish an opportunity to get on this committee. And like I said, I think I could be a big help to you.
Great.
So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I should say that there have been, each of you had a letter of reference come in with very nice things said about both of you. So,
Yes,
Yep.
I'm glad everybody
Yes.
received those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've received emails and messages from people that I know that know you guys.
I should have asked, do you have any questions of me?
The other two applicants were invited to be here, correct?
it was absolutely on the application.
Okay.
And the
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
advertisement, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Need not be present to win, though.
Right.
No, I understand.
Right.
I just wondered.
Mr. Billick, there's one email that I hope you would have gotten. That's from this guy.
I don't know that I'm on his list. I haven't always been a good boy, you know.
That's the one I'm looking for.
All right.
So is the intent tonight to just hear from the applicants, or is that, and then make a recommendation at a later time? What's the intent?
So normally, it would be that this commission makes a recommendation, and then it would go to, well, Washington Township in this case, and then that would either be ratified or,
And so are we looking to make a recommendation tonight, or at a different time?
if we can, the only, well,
I guess I would like to, either way, I would like to ask both applicants, what would be the primary thing you would like to change about Parks and Rec and/or the commission? What would be one of the things that you're looking to do, the goals that you would like to create for yourself and for the commission?
Okay. So I'll share an analogy with you. I build cars as a hobby.
Tom,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I build automobiles as a hobby. I've been doing it for 50 years. And in modern automobiles, there's a device in your exhaust stream that's called an oxygen sensor. It's there to measure the content of the oxygen percentage in the air-fuel ratio. So use that, hold that thought. So what would I change? First of all, I would find in detail what the citizen sentiment is. That's who we work for. We work for the citizen. If they tell us we're doing a good job, we keep doing that. If they tell us we need change, then we make a change. We need to get, in industry, it's the VOC, voice of the customer. That's the person that you work for. That's who we would all work for, not for ourselves necessarily, but for the citizen. So I would go and find every bit of information I could find from these citizens from age 1 up to age 101 as to what their needs are they satisfied, what do they recommend, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now you can act with their voice and not necessarily with your voice. Okay, thank you. Okay, does that?
Yep, that answers my question.
Thank you.
And then if you don't mind.
Well, I guess I'm not far from that answer, to be honest with you. And I think Bob hit on a good point earlier as I was listening, that I think you got to go out to these events and find out how people feel about them. Are they useful to them? You know, do they enjoy the activities? What would they like to see added? And I think you've got to get the input from people to make any changes that need to be made. I guess I don't know enough about the community to say I can make a change doing this, but I'm a good listener, I guess. So listen and then get as much facts, data as possible, and then give your input.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's all about, is, you know, again, we work for the community, we work for the people in the community. So,
Through the chair, did the application identify for potential applicants what the responsibilities are for the commissioners, the listed responsibilities that's in the
Not the listed.
interlocal agreement?
No,
it
You
was
know,
not the one.
if you, there's only about 7, if you want me to read them. I mean, that might help
Okay.
Yeah.
provide some context to the current responsibilities of commissioners.
Yeah, we need
Commission
to know
members
that.
shall act pursuant to and in accordance with the terms of the agreement. This is the interlocal agreement between the communities that governs, and shall abide by all applicable ordinances of the Township of Bruce and Washington, act in an advisory capacity to the Board of Trustees for the Townships of Bruce and Washington and Commission staff, recommend policies to govern the operation and programs of the Commission, assist in planning and provide guidance for the expansion of Commission facilities, assist in interpreting the policies and functions of the Commission to the public, encourage the development and advancement of the Commission, and ensure that any hired contractor by the Commission is competitive in price and capable of completing work assigned to them. Those are the current responsibilities that are set forth. I don't know if that changes your answers, but
But that's online, I believe.
this should, this,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I looked at it today, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's,
Yeah,
I understand.
good. And obviously, Star Transportation is part of this as well. Right.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions of the applicants?
Do either one of you currently use Parks and Rec, any of their programs?
I use the senior center almost every day.
I do the basketball, and I do the pickleball courts behind the township.
And you listed that you have grandchildren growing up in the area?
Yes.
Do they use the Parks and Rec programs?
They do. They're at Amanda Moore as well.
Nice. Thank you.
And some of the other special programs that we have.
The events.
The Christmas with Santa is a big thing for us. We get our reservation in early. Yeah.
I have a question. Do you ever do any benchmarking of the services you provide versus communities that are similar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I know Clara has. I have gone out and, every time now, every time I drive past a park or a facility, I go and take a look at it. See what they've got versus what we've got. Our Parks and Rec is a bit unique, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, in that, we're a tri-community, and we're answering to, 2 boards anyway, but also the village. We don't own any real estate, so what we're doing is in township or village owned, property. So, it all has to be agreeable to them, everything that we do. So it's a little bit different than a lot of other communities.
Because Bob, one of the reasons I asked that question is you can imagine as citizens, this is a huge metropolitan area each way. People talk to people, they have relatives living everywhere. Well, they offer this in my community, well, there's,
Right.
it's not just your benchmarking, it's the benchmarking that citizens do
Right,
among themselves. And I
right.
think that happens.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I mean, we have people from Shelby that come to our Washington facility. And I know we have people from Elmont,
Yeah.
and other communities that come down and utilize our facilities or our programs.
And I think things can be learned that way that make it more cost effective and et cetera. It's not just that well, look what he's got, we
Right.
don't have, it's a multiplicity of reasons you do that.
Well, I, to be honest, just my own opinion, I think this Parks and Rec, the way we utilize facilities of the schools, the townships, things like that, I think we're a very efficient operation compared to others that, may have strictly their own facilities and things like that, so.
Can I share this with y'all real quick? One of the things that I'm doing in my report on social isolation to the Board of Commissioners is how to use existing facilities. And I did a little research. We have 20 senior centers in Macomb County. Between churches, schools, and libraries, I don't have the exact numbers for each, and the senior centers, there's 414 facilities in 749 square miles. Now, that's a facility about every 2 square miles. My point is, when it comes to this social isolation, we need to use every tool in our toolbox to bring people together, whether it's a library, a school, a church, or a senior center, or a park, whatever it is. We must be utilizing those things to the fullest to make the citizens the happiest. That's my thought.
I agree. And I first want to say that this commission and the positive way that it is going, they're cleaning up all the messes and, or, you know, making things nice and tidy and bringing everything up to date, plus getting to those topics that you are talking about. So indirectly, we have been working on those items as we go through, because like I said, we don't necessarily do all this work for programs or our facilities for naught. You know, we're doing it for the community. I think that the continued vote since the 80s, every 4 years for Parks and Recreation and STAR has always been positive. And I think that's one way that people talk to. But anything can always get better, which I know that here. So I guess I say all of this because this is a pretty big responsibility, or a lot of times, sometimes there is times that I see several of the commission, and I mean, it is a pretty big commitment, or can be a big commitment, depending on what project is happening at the time. I do know that even when Washington Township put their survey out for their master plan, Sam said, you know, they talk so much about the different facilities and activities that they want on his survey. He laughed and said it seemed like it was a Parks and Recreation, you know, like everybody wants more pickleball. You know, all of the different things that are happening, dog parks, water
I was just
parks.
gonna ask you, did he, because I know he recently did a survey, and I didn't know if we ever saw that result. Did he ever impart it?
Right. I think he thinks that door is,
I'll get it. Continue.
but
I unlocked them.
I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
he went through all of the
Oh,
top
okay.
answers and the items that are out there. So that's really what we're working on here. And I feel like, I've been here a long time, I've been working to get that direction and want that. I mean, I want nothing more for this community than for these two departments to thrive. So, and the good news is, we are actually starting this winter, the townships, the village, DDA, and the library are all now combining into one publication so that we can put information out to all of the households, and you have one document that you're looking at, yeah, and you can refer to. So I think that that's a really good
One brochure or?
one, well, we call it publication.
Or magazine.
Or, I
It's
don't,
gonna be more like a magazine.
yeah, it's about
It'd be
72
nice. It'd be
pages.
nice,
So, yeah, it will be.
glossy.
All right.
So because we're combining together, we're saving money, and you can go to one place and kind of find out when recycling is, or when Christmas event is, or what have you. And that will be coming out every quarter.
That's for all 3 communities.
Yeah,
Yep.
Romeo, Washington, Bruce, yeah. So, yeah, again, it's one of the best ways besides talking to the people. And even with STAR, our drivers tell us what the people that they're picking up, we get input from that way too, so.
The
And
STAR is really expanding.
STAR is absolutely expanding, that is one of the topics on the, but,
Is this Fred?
oh, no, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm all right, sorry.
Just saying,
Calm, Fred.
but yeah,
Somebody came in.
Hopefully it's a good-looking guy.
I was so busy paying attention this way.
yeah. I don't know how we're gonna pick, because both of you, just the fact that you're here, you filled out the application and you're interested in doing this, and that's the hard, that's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be,
getting people to even want to participate.
yeah, I mean.
In this, and
Yeah.
everybody wants to partake. But
Yeah.
they don't want to necessarily do the
I'll
work to
tell you,
make it
it's
get
It's a
there.
commitment.
These county groups I got on, it's overwhelming what I've learned in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's exponential. And the people I've met and things that I never knew that I know now. It's phenomenal. I even spoke with the director of the Institute of Gerontology at Wayne State, where I got my undergrad, Dr. Thomas Jankowski. And he gave us, I think I sent you the files. They show the growth in population of people over 60 and over 85 out to 2050. It's like this.
All from the census.
What's the point? The point is, the world is changing, and the more you know about the world, the better you'll be able to get a job.
Right.
All right, I'm sorry, thank you.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
So
Maybe, so, yeah, maybe we should
I'll let you do your thing.
have a discussion, or
Okay.
again, I don't know that there could be a bad word said about either.
No,
Yeah,
it's
No,
correct.
I mean,
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
definitely wish, we could have both of you.
Right.
For wanting to participate.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Bob, let me know if you get that email from the.
I will.
I need that.
Well,
All
and
right.
I do have a question. So say, obviously, we have to suggest one of you for the township to ratify. If the other one is not chosen, I mean, like maybe you could participate in different ways, or, you know, yeah, to
Committees.
help us do, if you would be, I guess my point is, would you be interested in that, either one of you, if it doesn't?
Yeah, that'd be good with me.
If you don't get this fabulous job.
The pay's great.
Never have to ask for it, right?
Yeah, right. But,
That's great, that's a good thought.
yeah, okay.
Good thought, thank you.
Yeah, we like, you know, not everybody fills out the application.
No, I mean, I definitely appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. It
Would
was
like,
nice.
look forward to working with both of you.
Yes.
I got to lead you another Tom story.
Okay.
You all know who Mr. Rogers is, right?
Yep.
Okay. I saw this story and I was almost brought to tears. When he was a kid, something he read in the newspaper, you know, he didn't have internet. He would be alarmed or upset or sad or frightened. He would go to his mother. You know what his mother told him? She said, look for the helpers. There are always people out there that will help. And she was right, wasn't she? So, okay, well, that's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
thank you, Lord.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And I,
We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
All right.
So the suggestion was.
Yes,
that we do
I have a
closed session.
procedural question.
Okay.
Should this selection, discussion, and vote be done in closed session? No. Okay, I just want to make sure.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Discussion, comments?
Well, I like Clara's idea. And I would like to pick one, and I would like to use the other one.
That was what I.
Well, actually, I want to
mean,
use
I don't-
both of them.
Yeah. I'm not sure, Tom has so much experience with, and I know he went over the gamut, and he's right, socialization. I have 3 children at some points that I think they just locked themselves in their room this summer. But I think what I think Parks and Recreation and Star needs is someone to look at every part of Parks and Recreation. And that is my thought. So when I think of Tom, I think of how can I get him involved more in our activity centers and working. Like, he has given me several ideas, and,
Yeah.
you know, I want to make sure that I advertise a suggestion box and get the responses. I mean, there's only so many surveys people will fill out, and I mean, I think that we all talk to a lot of people. And again, I think that if people weren't happy with this department or Star, it would show. every 4 years, so that's my input.
I would like to see Tom work with us, like on a committee, to work on the social isolation issue, because he's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It is not just elderly.
No.
It runs the gamut. And Tom is very dogged at following up and, holding accountability on things like that. And I know he's busy with several other things. I think that would be the best way to utilize Tom.
And I agree in that way, whatever he's doing for the county really just folds over
Right.
to us.
Yes.
You know,
Township.
the same information he's gonna have for them will be useful to us.
And he has contacts out, at the county that possibly, can bring to bear to help us in certain situations. John, I think it'd be a good guy on the commission as well. That's kind of, I guess, you're looking for my choices, I guess.
And Tom did apply before. but
Yes.
He did.
Unfortunately, with some board members that,
Yeah, and I feel bad about that, because it's not fair. But that's just my input. What do you guys think?
I completely agree with what you said. I love that John had the HR experience, which I think goes
Yeah.
right along with all
Yes.
of our
Yes.
current issues that
And
we've
he's
been
very
having.
active.
Yes, and I like that he seems to have had involvement in several different age groups and areas, which is nice. So he kind of probably is well-rounded in relationship to understanding what people would want and need in Parks and Rec and Star. Tom, I think, is great. I love that he does his research. I love that he gives us ideas about different ways of thinking. I think, if he had either job, committee or commission, he would work it to its fullest. And so I think the same is probably true of John. Obviously, I don't know him as well, so I can't really speak to it. I would go, it's really tough. I would say I kind of agree with you that Tom would be great on a committee to help drive a certain point forward. I do think that John is very well-rounded, so I think he would be a great commission choice as well. If I had to pick, that's probably the way I would go, but I think either option would be great.
I love it when people agree with me.
Yes.
I think she's a good politician.
Very diplomatic.
Kim's working her way.
I don't know, they're both well qualified, but when I'm at the Township Hall, I always see Tom there with the seniors and their activities. So I know that he's involved and he's got an ear to what's going on over there. And he did apply before, and so he showed the effort, and I don't know, I think my choice would probably be Tom, Tom.
Yeah.
I think they both would be great. I think they would both do a nice job in any capacity. I do kind of lean towards thinking Tom is very passionate about the elderly community. I think he would be an amazing, not that he wouldn't work for the entire community, but he would be an amazing asset to work on some of those maybe social isolation that does I know it does impact everyone, but specifically with the senior center and, issues that come up there. He's so passionate about that, I think he would have a huge impact on that. John seems to be, I also like the HR background, from him, as far as being a little bit more, I don't wanna say well-rounded, because I feel like they both are. But just the human resources background, I think, can be beneficial, for sitting on the commission. I think it's hard, because I think they would both be an asset.
Well, hopefully they both are gonna be an asset.
Right.
Yeah, one way or another.
Yes.
Well, a lot of you guys have already said my thoughts, but when I look at John, I agree with Kim, and that was one of the questions why I asked, is because he's got grandchildren. So he's looking at it from many different views. He's involved as a senior, so he's involved as himself. And then he's got grandkids that are growing up in the area. So in my opinion, he's got a lot involvement in Parks and Rec from different views. I also think too, with having him, if he was to be chosen and being part of the commission, he would be out there at our events. Again, then he's PNR, for our, he's asking questions, he's reaching out to the community, he's getting responses back, and then he could bring them back to us. So I like John. Tom brings a lot of enthusiasm and passion, and very involved in the township and the county, it seems. I just feel John would come with maybe, I don't want to say more experience with Parks and Recs programs, but just looking at it from two different views. And I think having someone who's having grandkids growing up in the community would be a benefit for us, because he could come back and say, well, my daughter or my son-in-law liked this program, didn't like this program. Why I was attending the program with my family, I overheard this, I think that would be good to have him back. And as we've all said, the HR and just the fact that he's been part of the community for so long would be a benefit.
The only thing that I see on looking at John, and he is a good candidate, but he plays 100 rounds in there, and shows us how active he is. He's as active with 100 rounds of golf per year, and twice a week with St. Louis. If there's meetings and things to attend, how there's availability of being able to attend these meetings. I mean, has he got too much going to do this? It's just something to consider.
Yeah.
No, I kind of thought that about Tom, because he's so involved or he's on so many boards and so involved. I wondered that about him. I know Tom. I know he's definitely passionate about what we've all just talked about.
Right.
Not that he isn't passionate about anything else, but honestly, the entire time I've known Tom, I've never really had a conversation
It wasn't about seniors.
that did not evolve around it, and not that our senior population or adult population is definitely important. But I think the commission is here for the whole gamut, like across the board. And I think that's why the commission has worked so well, because it's not one concentration that everybody is,
And I have to appreciate Dennis's insight onto this, but I also have to look at it too. They both were here, so which means they're both committed. So I appreciate your insight onto John being involved and having lots of things on his resume and saying that it's taking up his time, but he did make the time today. And which shows me that he's committed because he's here and really wants the job and basically tried to sell himself to the commission.
Do you know either of the other two that applied?
No. Or, I know that Lori had applied previously.
She had applied before.
And no, I'm not. I really don't know. I know Tom.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know both of them come highly recommended
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have a problem with either of them. And like I said, I'd like to use both of them. You know, and, I mean, I think we can.
Is the next step to take a vote?
Would be to make a recommendation.
It's a recommendation
and
to the
then-
township.
And then a vote. You know, I mean, somebody make a recommendation of what they would like, and then we vote on it, and then if it passes, it goes to the board.
Well, then I'd like to make a recommendation. I'd like to recommend that John be a member of the commission, and we use Tom in another capacity.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Billick,
Yes.
Ms. Dembski,
Yes.
Ms. Duda,
Yes.
Ms. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson.
Yes.
Okay,
So
that's the recommendation.
Okay, so then I'm going
What?
to,
what I would like to, if we could, well, I don't know if it's appropriate to add to that, though, is that we seriously give Tom a job. You know, to utilize his expertise and his talents, because I really think he could help us. And I mean, helping us, meaning helping the community, again, and maybe make him our ambassador to that particular project, since he is so involved, especially with the senior centers.
I would,
I second that, if
well, what I was gonna
allows
say
for
is
it.
under, when we get down to commissioner comments in the end, someone at that point make a motion to establish a committee called whatever
There you
you
go.
wanna call it, and ask Tom Matthews to be the chairman of that committee.
Does that fly with you, Dan?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, the details should be determined.
But yeah, right.
Or, at a minimum, it sounds like communicate that the commission really wishes to engage him on projects and wants to make sure that he is receptive to that when called. It's, you know, if it's not yet ready, I don't think you need to force that motion.
Right.
But communicating
Okay.
with him seems to make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. B. 8B.
oh, sorry. I'm writing what I have to do. Okay, excuse me. So 8B is STAR. It's rehabilitation, non-resident rides. There's a policy within STAR for medical care facilities. Currently, we lay out, anybody that is permanently within one of our assisted living, nursing homes, or whatever within Romeo, Washington, and Bruce, they are considered residents of this community, whether they were, you know, moved here from Lapeer or what have you. The question and requests have really come up about the people who are temporarily in for the rehabilitation side of it. So STAR is Romeo, Washington, Bruce, so our general rule has been that you need to be a Romeo, Washington, Bruce resident, and if you're there temporarily, you wouldn't be considered that. So through conversation, we found out Shelby Township, when, say, somebody from Bruce or Washington or Romeo is in one of their sites, they do give people who are temporarily in there, they give them rides. But you also have to remember that STAR is set up differently than Shelby Township. Like each department is set up differently. Some are 24 hours like Lennox, some are like we have different hours. What we would like to do is to add to this policy to be able to provide the people who are within those assisted livings one medical ride per week if needed. Anybody that we do pick up from these facilities has to have somebody accompany them. That would be, that is something that I've been thinking about and trying to see if we could possibly set up a volunteer group, almost like a Meals on Wheels, that maybe there are people out there that would accompany different people who maybe don't have family close to them, but working that through, so maybe with Tom.
Doesn't
You
the
know.
facility have to provide
So,
somebody?
but they do not. They don't provide. But, for instance, the gentleman that I just talked to and went through this with, his mom had a stroke and she's from Shelby Township. She's in one of our facilities. And he's like, the biggest problem is if you're in a wheelchair.
Right.
You know, like, how, if you don't have a vehicle or anything like that, and then there are private companies, but you pay a lot of money to do that. So it does seem that it won't weigh Star down too much if we provide one medical ride per week. So my suggestion is, or what I would like to ask, is if we could add this for make the temporary residents the ability to follow all the rules that we have, but that we could give them one ride per week.
So have you established the pros and the cons for doing that?
Well, one of the reasons that we did it one time per week is because we do not want it to completely override Star, because it would get a little bit busier, you know. A lot of people, I can't tell you exactly how many people are going to do this. I mean, maybe we try it for like a 3-month and see where it brings us and count the number of rides. We can put that on our rider report to see, but you hate denying somebody. I mean, like, you're really stuck. And they are within Romeo, Washington, Bruce, and they stay there for 100 days and or longer, if not. So,
Dan, you had some
It just seemed, is there currently a written policy?
yeah.
You know, have you circulated the proposed changes to it? Because it seems like you may want to make sure that, you know, exactly give some thought to what constitutes temporary.
Well,
frame.
yes, that's set up really by the assisted living. So they have independent living, assisted living, memory care, and then they have rehabilitation. So if something happens to you and you can't necessarily go home after you get out of the hospital, you go to their rehabilitation ward, which is within that. I mean, it's definitely temporary,
So you're proposing that that person that in that facility would qualify?
yes.
So, and I know, like, Social Security Administration, for example, their threshold is 30 days. Anything over 30 days, you become a resident of wherever you're living. That's just kind of a point of reference, I guess. But, so the specific group you're talking about is only the rehabilitation. The
Rehabilitation.
others would be considered residents.
They're residents, yeah.
Okay.
They already have, and then they just have to, we ask them to make their doctor's appointments between a certain time, and it has to end by a certain time.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we set a policy with a schedule, you know, like has to be, you know, I don't know how many, a day or 2 days, 3 days in advance.
Yep,
whatever.
we have that, yep. So the trip needs to be scheduled 2 days. This is for anybody. I mean, that's using Star as we ask for that. And really, we're only doing medical appointments. Because they do have, at assisted livings and nursing homes, they do have, you know, hair salons come in. They do have, they have on-site doctors. But sometimes they need a different type of doctor, like an eye doctor, or in this case.
You had mentioned in the beginning of your conversation that there's a difference between what Shelby Township's doing and what you're.
So Shelby
currently doing. Do you
Township-
know what the difference is? Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Well, I can tell you that Shelby Township, if I was in a rehabilitation,
Yeah.
they would they would take me.
Okay.
They would take the ride. Do I know their specific rules? that
Like
they
how
have?
many, is there a limit? You don't know those
No,
details?
they did
Okay.
not. So, but
Okay.
we had thought, just to kind of see how it went, or to see the numbers, that we would try once a week.
Sure.
Um,
Are we able to keep data? So I know you
Mhm.
mentioned that, okay.
Yeah, we
So
have
that
a,
is something that we
real-time
could, if
program,
we
yes.
temporarily put this policy in
We could see
place,
how many-
we could keep data.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a certain radius that they're limited to?
So, the same radius that we go. So
Okay.
like the 72 square miles here, but for medical, we go outside. So we like go to the Garfield area or Henry, Florida, and I probably get the names wrong of the hospitals and Cornwall Health. Like we'll go to those areas where the major medical hubs are.
So if I'm reading this correctly, the current policy, the only one that would need to be changed would be the last one, correct? Okay.
Well,
Well, I think what it would be is RISE will be, or we'd have to say that persons within the rehabilitation portion of the,
Of a facility.
of a facility would be considered temporary residents of Romeo, Washington, and Bruce. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's Medicare, I want to say it's 100 days that they have.
it's 100 days that they'll
It's
pay.
100 days that
That they'll
pay.
pay, and then, yeah, so.
Then you go on private pay. I mean, it really doesn't,
Right,
it's all that's about is who's gonna
Yeah.
pay for it. It's-
A
yeah,
lot of them are really short though, 8, 10 days,
Right.
yeah,
just to get them so they can walk to the bathroom by themselves and stuff like that.
right, get their occupation
Yeah.
therapy and different stuff, which they provide on site. I don't know that I foresee, but I hate saying that, that was one of the reasons. And really, it was a meeting with the operation manager as well as the dispatchers that we kind of came up with the one time a week to see if that would be approvable.
Did you
to
have a
try.
patient that came to you and asked you about this?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, I spoke to him and
Okay.
you know, I totally understood his point. I mean, it's hard. Like, what do you do? Because
Well-
sometimes you go where there's an opening.
My feeling is if we have the capacity to do it, why not? I mean, that, because, like you said, we have people that end up in other facilities outside of our area and they're taken care of. We need to reciprocate,
Right.
in my opinion, so.
And that was his biggest point.
Yeah.
He's like, and truthfully, I really did not know, we did not know that Shelby Township had a specific rule for that. So that's kind of what led to this, so. Getting that.
So, I'll make a motion that we add to our policy, STAR transportation policy, that people in rehabilitation or extended, or healthcare facilities that are non-residents be allowed one medical transportation visit per week.
And we probably should add the word temporary.
Temporary,
So
or to
people
be.
temporarily in
Yeah,
healthcare
okay,
facilities.
yeah, something like that.
The way you have it worded on this, on the bottom of this policy seems okay.
Okay, we do that.
Do you want me to read it? Do you want me to read it?
Reviewed in 6 months or 4
Yeah,
months or
yeah,
something?
we should put to be.
At a time.
Yeah.
6
So we can
months.
review it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want me to read the statement, proposed update? Clara?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great, thank you.
People from neighboring communities who are temporary residents for rehabilitation will be provided one medical ride per week, following the same guidelines above.
Works for me.
And that should be reviewed, what would you guys say, 4 to 6?
6 months.
6 months.
I think go 6 months.
6 months, are you gonna specify 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Can I get a copy of that you have?
Yeah.
That you just went through?
It's in your pack.
Somebody want to second that?
I'll
Oh, this down here? Oh, yeah.
Support by Dennis.
Sorry, I didn't see it on the bottom.
Okay,
I'm all right, we're all right.
all in favor?
And wait a minute, who seconded it?
Dennis,
Oh, Dennis, okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So 8C is project updates. These things are in motion, or
You got
I'll
5
just go
minutes.
through them? Okay, okay. So, we bought the Traverse, thank you.
Great.
We bought the van, has been purchased. Star, everybody that's using Star.
Delivery date?
Thank you.
Everybody's happy.
What's that?
Delivery date on the van?
It's here.
Oh, it's here, cool.
Yeah.
All right,
And less money than was appropriated. I can't tell you how much less, but it was less.
okay.
bonus.
The Star overhang extension, we are in the process. Oh,
I just noticed a mistake on my.
oh. So this, the Star overhang extension, we are, the company that built it, it's been surveyed, they're just gonna look, the easiest thing to do is to add on to it. It sounds like it's gonna be fairly simple. We might have to add a little bit of asphalt, but at the same time, a little bit of expense because we're gonna fix the cement that's in front of the barn that has been semi-hazard, so. I will be bringing that information back to you.
Did Romeo is okay with it?
Romeo, yes, I met with
Megan?
Megan. She came out there, and all is good and permit as
Good.
possible for that, so. Also, I know that Washington, there possibly might be some spaces over there. I think the easiest thing for Star, just so many moving parts are going, it's just nice that we have one hub right now, so that was the reason. We just don't want our vans and our buses need to be under and plugged in, so we'd like to do that before winter, so, but I will bring that information probably to the next meeting. Payroll and HR company, we have met with them. We've provided paperwork to them, things have been signed, so it's moving along. More to come.
Good.
The Gilcher Christmas Park, the entrance should be starting right around Labor Day. They will be fixing that. I did take a walk with them, or with Brett, around the walking path to see while they're there if they could give us a price. I do have money for Washington Township Park for asphalt, same thing, fixes. So I'm gonna walk there too, and hopefully, cross my fingers, we have enough money to, so far we're doing really good. And honestly, the next meeting, I will bring you so you can see, besides any amendments that we've had to ask for, like the van, everything is, we're doing everything that was in the budget and we're staying under.
Cool.
I am going to add internet to Gilcher so that we can see real time with the cameras out there, because
Definitely.
we have
That's a good
found.
idea.
Yes, yes.
We've just found that we need it, because otherwise,
Oh, is there still a lot of trouble? I mean, have we still had a lot of?
we've had some incidents, but not the vandalism or anything like that. But
Okay.
since we have the cameras out there and the lights,
Oh, yeah.
it's, we're waiting a couple days to get footage where,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
it's just, it will be an additional, something that people at the park can use while they're there, which will be nice for them, as well as, we really need it. So we'll have our private, or the cameras on our private line, but then a public one. Orchard Hills additional drain, we did, if everybody remembers, we did fix the front entrance with the culvert. So we're still having a little bit of water drainage problem coming down to that parking lot. So we are just looking at that to see like what, if we can put a drain right there and it just directs it right to the ditch.
Did Brent go out there and look at it?
Yeah. There is a lot of it is being captured, but a lot of it is still, when it's a really hard rain, it's coming towards that driveway. It's just the slope of the property, so.
Yep.
the, sorry. lost my
Vermont.
spot.
Vermont.
Oh, Vermont registration program. So we have installed the Vermont registration program. We are in the process of learning it. It's been fun. But it has definitely been a learning experience, and it has been a lot of work. But I feel like we see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I'm gonna hold my breath until, September 8th and we go, because anytime it's new and you have 20 different people working on it. But between that and our fall brochure, we're timing those together, so we will be sending out the digital copy of our brochure probably right before Labor Day or as we go into Labor Day weekend. And then it will be at the printer, so then we will mail it out the week after Labor Day.
Nice.
So then it will go to everybody's houses, so. And then, like I had said before, the new magazine brochure will be starting up this coming November. So we're prepped for that, but everything else is going, really good.
Good.
Great.
All right, unfinished business, Washington Agreement.
So I still have no update. I wanted to ask the commission, because I did read an email right before I came in here in regards to where we're at with this whole thing. As a commission as a whole, I know we had the commission before that was trying to accomplish certain things. I wanted to ask this commission where we would like to see this go with the Washington Agreement. I know that with the new clerk, there's been, I don't think, any issues in relationship to what we're being charged, but at the same time, I personally think it makes sense to put something in writing, to have a specific agreement. At the same time, we were sort of told by Washington Township that they were going to meet with their attorneys and draft something. We were just sort of waiting for that. That has not happened. So I'm wondering where this commission wants me, and Michelle, I think, was
Yeah.
also on this task as well. Where do you want us to take it at this point?
Well, I think it was in the interlocal that these be established. So I know
Because we've come to no
we've
agreement
come
with
to no agreement with
Romeo
Romeo,
either.
that's not gonna happen, they don't, I mean, if they don't wanna do anything, you can't force it. Washington, probably in the same boat, but they put together the interlocal agreement. I mean, so I would think that they would need to follow it as well.
Right.
So I definitely think we need an agreement. The handshake stuff and the old fashioned, it just doesn't work. And that was one of their big complaints.
Right.
Was that we didn't have agreements. So from my perspective, I think we need to push it.
Okay, so I'll include you,
Please.
I'll start an email with Clara, Michelle, and send that, who should it be directed to, Clara? Do you think Sam
It
or?
should,
or
Probably
the
go
clerk?
to
Audrey.
Sam.
I think so.
Yeah,
Sam or Audrey?
Sam and Audrey.
Yeah.
Sam
Sam and
and,
Audrey.
Okay.
And actually it should go probably to the executive committee, which is Sam, Audrey, and Mike Nice.
Yeah, that would be.
Sam, Audrey, okay,
And Mike Tyson, yeah.
okay.
And if I can just give one little piece of input. This whole thing, when it started with the prior board, scared me because I'm afraid if we open this can of worms, that the township is going to decide that we need to pay a hefty rent for using whatever facilities we use within the township. Just because some of the current township board members are, how can I put it, Dennis? Claim to be fiscally responsible. And I was, from the very beginning, I was afraid of opening that can of worms. I know we need to make an agreement, but I think we should go in right from the get-go and say, we just want to put down what facilities we have, we're not asking anything about money or rent or, just, can we have an agreement about the facilities we use?
Well-
And put on paper what our current agreement is, I guess is really, so that hopefully nothing changes.
Right. Well, I was gonna suggest in that vein that we not leave it to their attorney
Right.
to come up with something. It would be nice maybe if Dan could put something together, kind of codifying what we have, the agreement we currently have, and present that to them to say, look, this is what you asked us to do, this is what we have, this is what we've been doing. Because I agree, I foresee, that there could be,
I don't necessarily know that, oh, can I talk?
yeah,
That it needs to,
we've got 4 minutes.
be, agree, right? But we currently pay for all of our expenses within side, and then I think the biggest thing is like the percentage or whatever when it goes the roof, or when it was the parking lot, those type of items. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
But I
know that
think
there
we
needs
should-
to be a rent,
But,
but,
no, but
No.
I think that we should pay our fair share.
yeah,
Right,
but we
spell
do,
out
and we
those
have
If
to.
terms.
if we're using 20% of the building and the roof goes, we pay 20% of the, of the roof,
And that would be, to put your mind at ease, Phyllis, that would be the goal. I think Michelle and I have talked about this in the past, that would be the goal. And we also had a preliminary meeting with Sam Praviti at one time where we talked about that. We just want to put what we're already doing in
Right.
writing
Yeah.
so that everyone knows from here on out that this is the agreement.
Okay.
Can I ask one other question?
Sure.
Did everybody get an email last night about a meeting like every Thursday?
Yes.
It was too.
Yes. From
I wasn't sure, I had thought.
Sam.
Sam.
Oh,
right?
that's
Hit it
right.
up on my
I'm not
calendar.
board, I keep forgetting.
I
Yeah.
kept looking, what am I doing?
So
I don't
what's the
have
meeting
anything on
for?
the
I'm sorry, I didn't
28th, but I
read my
gotta,
email.
it's on my calendar.
Is it a weekly or a monthly,
So,
weekly
I
check-in?
believe, so I am going to speak to him tomorrow. So I was gonna kind of find out a little bit about it, or then I was invited to another one today, which I logged in, but they go in person and so they forget the people who logged in, but I didn't know if it was a mistake. So that's why I was just gonna ask him if, I think it's maybe to keep the communication open, because I did suggest to him that, about Thornton,
Right.
about.
Yep.
I've heard, about the different ideas that are coming up.
It's at 3
so that we're
o'clock
aware.
next Thursday, right?
Next Thursday
3 o'clock. So,
at 3 PM. Okay.
And that might help to kind of close the gap, if you
Yes.
will, of the communication issues we've been having between, what's going on at the township versus what's going on at Parks and Rec.
Right,
So,
to make sure we're square.
and I know that was kind of being touched upon, in the interlocal was one of the things I had kind of mentioned. So that actually might be a great solution. Maybe weekly might be too much,
Yeah.
but at least we're doing
start,
something.
or
Yeah,
so.
see how it goes and go from there.
Yeah.
Do you meet with Sam regularly, or is this something that new that we're?
So for Thornton, yes, there's a weekly meeting. However,
Okay.
since this registration program, the weekly meeting is right at the same time that
Sure.
the training is every week, so I haven't been able to go. I went to one probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, right before commission meeting. So, but I mean, I know that with the Thornton
Sometimes
project.
it's better not to know stuff. too.
Is the, like, I think we had talked about it last meeting, what is the expectation, like, what is happening this year? We know, like, next year or going forward, is to develop the park around there. And that is,
I'm going with what we were told in the first meeting.
yeah.
Nothing this year.
So,
Let's,
I know. Well, I think that might be where the half-hour meeting might.
Right.
Like,
Right,
so,
yeah.
to see if the communication lines could be open.
Right.
Because I do think that I know that
They're
there are
pushing
some
forward.
So the whole board was invited to these weekly meetings?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not seeing it.
Well, I kind of thought it went away, but I was tired.
I did see it today. I
Yeah.
went to
Oh, you did see
Claire.
it today? Okay.
Went to Dennis, went to myself, went to Bob and Kim, and someone from Webster.
Oh, probably
okay.
Mike or Brent.
Well, probably whoever's working on Farmington.
M, so maybe it's Mike?
Mike,
Maybe he-
Mike from
Mike
Giffords
Colbeck.
Webster, yeah.
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 Yeah, I think he's a project.
Yeah.
Because there's communication about looking at the splash pad again, looking at a dog park. You know, there are just different things that are coming up that we would be interested in probably knowing.
Right.
Or finding out all those stuff so that we can be in the know.
Okay. Just going back to the Washington agreement for a second, I'm thinking that probably what I'll do first before emailing the executive committee is to put in an outline, and I want to say we already have this in existence, we'll just go back to it, put it in an outline and, make sure that we're all in agreement that that's what we want to start and kind of go from there.
Yep.
Okay.
And nothing from Romeo Community Schools either.
I might I'll see him Monday.
Okay,
Monday?
ask him.
We were opening day staff,
Okay,
so.
if you can. Ask him. Cool. Community comments. Did you just bored
Why is the
stiff?
doctors forget?
He's waiting patiently.
Ryan's waiting for it.
Commission comments. This is,
So here's where somebody wants to make a motion
Oh,
to
right,
establish
we
the
need to make
committee. Then I'll draft up some charges for the committee.
For Tom.
yes.
But should I
Or do you wanna
talk
check
to
with him?
him first? Or,
Well, we,
We can get, establishing the committee is good one way or the other, whether Tom wants to do it or not,
no, true.
you know.
That's very true.
but-
okay.
I'm assuming we have to put some thought into what that committee would be exactly.
Yes. So,
I can start a draft for you and then
let's do
we
that.
can modify that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phyllis, do a draft, then we'll, maybe talk to the, senior coordinators,
And Becky, or the, yeah.
isn't that what they are, is that what you call them?
I do, yeah, but senior director,
Oh,
senior,
I'm sorry.
oh no, they're all coordinators, but titles change.
Yep,
I'll do that.
thank you. Any commission comments?
Did you have any
Dennis?
comments,
No,
Dennis?
no.
Okay, I would like to say that I'm happy to see all the HR stuff moving forward. It seems like that's gonna be a real help to everybody once it's
Yeah. and-
fully in place. I know it's not there yet,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take some time. So I'm glad to see that moving in that direction. The other thing I wanted to bring up was the agendas for these meetings. I
Yes.
noticed in the email from Marilyn
Yes.
that I saw, that she wasn't able to find the agenda. I had the same problem, so I don't know if it's just not making it on the website, but I know it
This is
always
the-
used to be.
Yeah, it is, this one did not make it on the
Okay.
website.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Well,
So-
it's on the website now, but it did
Now.
not make it on the website
Okay.
like a week ago.
All right, so
And
whoever's
it was late,
doing
too.
that now, I'm assuming she, like, because isn't there like a time frame we have to get it up there or no?
On,
From the Open Meetings Act?
I would have
Notice
to-
of the meeting. On that point, I didn't see, the calendar, I think, needs updating too, about the meetings. I couldn't locate
that's on there.
on the website calendar this meeting.
Oh, the actual calendar. So on Doc Center, I have all of the commission stuff.
Okay.
But, okay, I will,
Has the website also been updated with the proper commissioners?
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because somebody told me
I know.
that somebody was still on there.
They told me to.
Who would that be?
And I scoured, but unless there's another spot, but we did it.
Okay, all right, that was basically it. But everything else is great. Participating in stuff whenever I can, which isn't often these days, but the things I've been to have been great.
Yeah, I agree.
Pam?
Shout out to Tim and just the loyalty of Parks and Rec people. A phone call and he came out the other night for a non-Parks and Rec event just to be helpful because Sadie called Becky and
Oh, yeah.
we had a fundraiser event out in the pavilion on Monday and the movie and all of a sudden the lights come on and he was just out and so just a shout out to, totally didn't need to do that, offered to come back and try to, I'm like, no, we're good, I promise. But just, yeah,
Good.
just very
Have some great
appreciative.
employees.
They're good. They stop in here and say hi too.
Yeah.
They come in.
Yeah, I mean, this was an evening, he was just, we paid him with a Rice Krispie treat.
That's their favorite payment.
Michelle?
Nothing, I'm good. I mean, the parks look great. Drove past, Christmas, the other day. The fencing looks great. Everything looks awesome out there. Yeah.
Oh, I
forget
do
page
have one other thing. Speaking of that, I know we noticed a dirt biker or
I do.
something over at Washington. I don't know if you knew about it or not, but I did call it in to Nikki, and I believe she called authorities. I'm assuming that's the proper action if we see that?
We would like that, yeah, it's the best way to do it because.
Okay.
Recently?
Yeah,
Today?
yesterday at
Yesterday?
Washington Township.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was kids, definitely.
Yeah.
We saw at least one bike, there were possibly two, like the motorbikes just going through
Yeah.
the soccer fields and everything,
Okay.
so
yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what
now
came
there's
of
the
it.
electric bikes too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
gonna be,
Yeah. It's gonna be challenging.
it is
Yes.
a challenge.
Everything is moving along good. The event out here with the animals and stuff was great on, was it Tuesday?
On the 18th.
Yeah,
Monday.
Monday. It went off really well. The people with the animals were very nice. The animals were all well-groomed and cared for, looked very good, which is nice to see that, we have people that are good stewards with their livestock. So yeah, and it was well-attended. It was a beautiful day, and I enjoyed it. Should have been at work, but
that's why you enjoyed it.
That's why you enjoy it.
Well, it wasn't rain out. We
Right.
called it for rain and then the sun came out. But we have to make those decisions early because we're paying,
Yeah.
vendors. So they just rescheduled for this day, so.
I just have one thing to say. Back when I first started getting involved in Parks and Rec and throughout my tenure in this township, I had never heard of pickleball before I moved here. I lived 60-some years of my life without knowing anything about pickleball. So when I first got involved with this and everybody kept saying, we need more pickleball, we need more pickleball, I'm like, what? I just have to tell you a funny story, because WBRW is now stationed temporarily in Washington Township Hall. And we finally got all of our stuff back. By another week or two, we'll be back operational again. But it was one of those days when it just poured down rain, you know, sheets and sheets of rain. And we looked right out on the pickleball courts from upstairs. There were people playing pickleball
Yep.
in the pouring rain.
You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. They're standing there and it's raining and there's lightning off in the distance and they didn't care.
I know. Tennis too, I was trying to work on the timer. They're out there playing, I'm getting soaked, I'm like, whatever, but, I mean, pickleballs are way better in the rain, but the guys that were playing didn't seem to care that their tennis balls were
It's
soaked.
insane.
That is
It's,
awesome.
it just didn't, I had no idea. And then now you see it on TV and I'm like, holy mackerel, where did I live for 50 years and I never
Well,
heard
it's
of it.
It hasn't been around
South and
50
it's,
years.
Yeah.
it's been moving,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Who's second?
Right.
And now Ryan's up.